Hi, welcome to XS Sights. My name is Monty.
I'm John.
We're going to talk to you about our new Gunsmith model sight installation tool. I'm going to start digging it out of the box. You want to kind of give them an overview, John?
So the Gunsmith series was a design, kind of an upgrade from the DIY series. We have a whole separate video on that. The Gunsmith series is supposed to give you even more robustness. The tool itself is thicker, stronger. We've upgraded the pusher bit, and we've also upgraded the front sight tool. We've included optional or extra in the package, an extra pusher bit itself, so you already have a replacement when the first one wears out. And we have the same oil, thread locker, and troubleshooting shims.
All right, so the Gunsmith model, just like the DIY model, is CNC machined from a chunk of aluminum billet that we've hard anodized. The hard anodizing, again, protects the finish of the firearm when we set it up to do an installation. It also allows us to laser etch a QR code to take you to the installation video or the instructional video. And again, we have witness marks on the base that match up to witness marks on the brass pusher bit that allow for fine tuning of the rear sight when you're doing an installation. Unlike the DIY model, the Gunsmith model does use a T-handle. It's a custom-made in-house handle that also works for the front sight screw and is magnetic. So you won't drop the screw when you're trying to install sights. That's awesome, trust me, I've dropped a lot of screws. Additionally, the custom bolt includes a magnet as well. I believe that was your design, wasn't it?
Unfortunately.
That works really good at keeping the handle in the base when you're using it.
Yeah, my favorite part of that design, and this T-handle was designed with a magnet in it so you can spin it fast without dropping it. One thing you'll notice with the hex key of the DIY series is that if you hold it just the wrong way, you'll drop it on the floor 100 times before you're finished.
I've done that a lot.
And it allows you to quickly reset for installing sights. Now this is ideal for the person who's actually charging money for installing sights. You know, your Gunsmith-Series.
So gunsmiths, armors. It also works really good for, again, I know I talked a lot about it in the DIY version. I actually keep one of these in my range bag, mainly because I like the slightly stronger tool. It is marginally heavier than the DIY model, but that doesn't really bother me that much going to the range. It's just bigger and easier for me to hang on to without having a bench top or a vise handy if I'm trying to adjust a sight, especially if I've had one that's been Loctited in and I need to move it a little bit. The bigger, heavier base allows me to put a little more force on it while I'm holding it in my hands. Now, just like the DIY model, we stayed with the locking wedge design, which allows us to drop the slide in, get it all lined up, lock it in with the wedge, and I've got a nice open top area where I can see everything that's going on. I can make sure the sight starts correctly. I can make sure it's being pushed through correctly, which is nice and handy.
And this one also works if you have an optics installed. You can adjust your sights without having to take your optic off. Monty will tell you more than anyone, he never wants to remove his optic once it's zeroed.
Yeah, once it's on a zeroed eye, I don't want to adjust it if I just don't absolutely have to.
And when you're co-witnessing with your red dot, you can adjust your sights without having to take your zero out of your optic.
This is CNC machined here in Fort Worth, Texas, right down the street from our office, like next door.
Both the T-handle and the bolt are made in-house. That's an upgrade feature over the DIY series. Anyone who's been around for the past few years knows that there's been serious supply chain issues when it comes to getting fasteners and anything that has cobalt in it. We've eliminated that, so we'll always have these. They're also stronger. An upgrade also is the plunger tip, which gives you less surface friction and makes the install easier.
Now, just like on the DIY version, there are some wear parts. It's tools that we're using. The brass pusher bit can wear, which, as John mentioned earlier, we include a spare one right off the get-go because we intend this one to be used by gunsmiths. It's going to see a lot of use. Additionally, if you do wear out the bolt, which is going to take you quite some time, but when you do wear it out, we do have spares available on the website.
One thing you'll notice with the T-handle design is there's a fetter part, and this is my favorite part. This would be our standard Glock front sight tool. This is an aluminum one. This is what you would get with the sight that you ordered from us in the past. Now, going with the Gunsmith series, you have a knurled handle, much bigger surface area, and larger diameter. The larger diameter really gives you the extra leverage when you're trying to break Loctite loose and remove a factory bolt.
So the Gunsmith model was designed for heavy use. I've had one of the first prototypes that, when did I get that one, John? About 2 months ago? Is when you handed me that one? Yeah, he walked into my office and goes, dude, check out the new prototype. And I did something kind of like that. Thanks, dude. And been using it ever since. Traveled with several of our sales reps and visited a bunch of dealers all over the country in the last couple of months. And mine that I've got in my gear has done well over 250 installs so far. And I'm still on the original bolt and the original brass pusher bit.
You know you've got a good product when they take it and don't bring it back.
And he's not getting it back either. So, for more information, to order one, or if you have any other questions, please visit our website at www.xssights.com.